Have you ever noticed this really frustrating pattern? Two companies. They launch in the same industry, maybe even the same year. Similar products. You check back in, say, 10 or 20 years, and they are in completely different places.
Right. It's the great puzzle, isn't it? One is thriving, innovating. Their culture's amazing.
They have loyal customers. And the other one is just perpetually in crisis mode, fighting fires, struggling to survive.
And if you've been following this whole conversation, you know Simon Sinek has a diagnosis for this in The Infinite Game. His whole idea is that the difference isn't the product or the capital. Not really.
It's the mindset.
It's the mindset, 100%. One group is playing to win. They're obsessed with beating competitors, hitting those quarterly targets.
That's the finite game mentality. They're running a sprint when it's actually a marathon.
Exactly. And the other group, they get it. They understand that business, well, like life itself is an infinite game. There's no finish line, there's no final score.
So their focus shifts. It's not about beating anyone.
No, it's about building for the long run, making sure you have the resilience, the resources, and the purpose to just keep playing indefinitely. It's about serving a cause that's bigger than just profit.
So our mission today is to really give you the shortcut to Sinek's framework.
Yeah.
We're going deep on these 5 principles that allow for that kind of long-term endurance. We want to unpack how this infinite thinking, it's not just some fluffy philosophy.
No, not at all. It directly impacts your bottom line, your operational metrics.
Right.
And for you listening to this, what it means is you can start to see immediate steps to improve things you can actually measure, like customer lifetime value, how long do people stick with you, and your operational efficiency.
We're talking about sacrificing some of those shiny short-term gains today to build this unshakable strength for tomorrow.
That's the trade-off.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the core distinction.
We have to anchor this whole conversation in the difference between the games. So, finite games. Think football, chess, a political campaign.
Right. There are clear rules, known players.
Exactly. Known players, fixed rules, everyone agrees on them. And crucially, there's an agreed-upon endpoint. The clock hits 0, and we have a winner.
But infinite games are the opposite.
Completely. You have known players, but also unknown ones who can show up anytime. The rules are changeable, and there is no finish line.
Marriage, education, a career.
And definitely business. The only objective is to perpetuate the game, to keep playing.
And the mismatch happens when a company tries to play the infinite game of business like it's a finite game. They try to win.
You can't. It's impossible to win a game that has no end. So what happens instead is, well, it's exhaustion, it's resource depletion. Sinek calls it borrowing from the future.
Oh, that phrase is so important. Because finite thinking, it leads to these short-term decisions that look great on a spreadsheet, but they create this deep systemic weakness. I mean, tell me if this sounds familiar. A company's got to hit its quarterly number. What's the first move?
Cut costs now.
Cut the R&D budget. Defer maintenance on the equipment. Maybe offshore the customer service to a cheaper and, let's be honest, less effective provider.
And they hit the target. The CEO gets their bonus, everyone celebrates. But at what cost? That R&D cut means your product pipeline is empty for the next 2 years.
And that deferred maintenance means you're running on risk, which tanks your operational efficiency later on.
And that terrible customer service. It guarantees the customer lifetime value of any new people you bring in will be, well, catastrophically low.
So the short-term thinker got their win, but the company is dramatically weaker the second the next quarter starts.
Whereas the infinite player is asking a totally different question. They're asking, will this decision make us stronger in 5 years? Will it help us keep playing?
And that perspective, it often means choosing your purpose over immediate profit.
Or choosing to invest in something foundational, even if it means you miss the street's projection this quarter.
Okay, but here's the tension point, right?
Yeah.
Especially for a public company. It sounds great to invest for 5 years out, but Wall Street demands finite results every 90 days.
Yeah.
So how do infinite players handle that pressure? How do you survive the short term to get to the long term?
By being absolutely ruthlessly transparent about their priorities. They communicate, sometimes really forcefully, that their main metric is longevity, not quarterly maximization.
So they're managing expectations.
They're managing expectations, yes. And they accept that short-term players, whether that's investors or competitors, are going to judge them harshly. But they have to stay resolute in protecting the mission.
That clarity of purpose, that brings us perfectly to the second principle, which is that internal compass. Advancing a just cause.
The just cause is the bedrock. It's everything. And for an infinite player, this cause is not a goal. It's not increase market share by 10%.
And it's not a fluffy mission statement either.
No, it's a specific positive future state that you are always striving towards. And this is the most important part, it must be unachievable.
Sinek has, what, 5 criteria for this?
He does. It must be for something, not against a rival. It has to be inclusive, so anyone can contribute. Service-oriented, so it benefits others. It has to be resilient enough to survive market shifts. And, like you said, idealistic. Unachievable.
Why does unachievable matter so much?
Because finite goals end. You hit your $5 million revenue target, and then
Right.
motivation stalls. The business just kind of drifts, looking for the next little hill to climb.
But a just cause, like to eliminate poverty or something, that never ends.
It never ends. It always provides direction.
But how do you stop a cause like that from just becoming, corporate fluff, virtue signaling? I see a lot of companies claim a cause but then operate purely for profit.
That's the alignment test. A real just cause isn't a poster on the wall. It's the filter you use for your most painful decisions.
So if a decision to cut quality directly undermines your cause,
Then your cause is just rhetoric. But if you hold firm on quality even when it costs you margin, then the cause is real.
and this creates a huge competitive advantage, especially for smaller companies. Because numbers, they attract mercenaries.
Right. Employees who are just there for the paycheck. Customers who are just there for the lowest price.
But a just cause.
A just cause attracts believers. People who share your values, who want to be part of the mission. They'll work harder, they'll innovate more, they'll stay longer. You might not be able to outspend the giants.
But you can out-meaning them. And that directly improves your operational efficiency through loyalty.
Think about it with an architecture firm. The finite goal is design 20 luxury homes this year. Client 21 is no more important than client 1.
But the just cause might be to pioneer sustainable net zero housing that redefines urban living.
Now everything changes. Every decision, every material choice is filtered through that cause. And when a crisis hits, that cause is what holds the team together, which allows you to build the next principle, trusting teams.
Right. And here's where the internal culture really determines that resilience. Infinite players build on trust and safety. Finite players demand performance out of fear.
And fear-based cultures, they get you compliance, sure, but they absolutely destroy creativity and loyalty.
Of course, if I know that failure gets punished, if missing my hours means a talk with HR.
You're going to protect yourself first, you'll hide problems, you'll pad your timesheets, and you're definitely not going to volunteer some risky, innovative idea.
And the cost of that fear over time is just devastating. Problems just fester until they blow up because nobody felt safe enough to say something early.
And you have constant churn. You're always training new people, which is a massive drain on operational efficiency. The cost of replacing a good employee who leaves because of burnout is astronomical.
So a trust culture does the opposite. It says, we're in this together. If you're stuck, tell me now so we can solve it.
Exactly. Trust means people can take smart risks. They can admit mistakes, knowing their team has their back.
And this has a direct impact on the bottom line. When an engineer feels safe to admit a coding mistake right away.
You prevent a bug from ever reaching the customer. You protect your customer lifetime value. People stay because they feel valued, and that reduces turnover. It's all connected.
So if we've built that internal safety, how does that help us deal with the outside world? Specifically, our competitors. This is Principle 4, study worthy rivals.
Yeah, the finite player looks at competitors as enemies. They have to be crushed. Eliminated.
Their whole focus is reactive. If a rival drops their price, they panic and drop theirs too.
Right. Regardless of the impact on their brand or their margins.
And that obsession with beating rivals, it's one of the biggest energy sinks a company can have. It pulls focus from the cause, from the customer.
And you just start reacting to your competition instead of innovating for your customer. The infinite player, though, they approach it with a learning mindset. They look for worthy rivals.
So these are competitors who are actually better than you at something.
Exactly. They reveal your weaknesses. They hold up a mirror to your flaws. They are teachers, not enemies.
So the question shifts from how do we beat them to what are they teaching us?
Yes. Why are customers choosing them? Is it their product, their speed, their storytelling?
Let's take the SaaS industry. Software as a service. It's super competitive. The finite player is obsessively watching pricing, trying to undercut by $5.
While the infinite player notices that their worthy rival has this amazing user onboarding tutorial, it's almost frictionless.
And that rival's strength reveals a weakness in your own system. You realize your product is good, but your onboarding is terrible, and that's why you have so much early churn.
Exactly. So by using the competition as fuel for your own internal growth, you improve your customer experience, you strengthen your customer lifetime value. It's not a battle anymore.
It's an impetus for internal excellence.
Precisely. Which brings us to the final principle, and this is the one that takes the most courage. Principle 5. Demonstrate existential flexibility.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's the willingness to completely blow up your own business model, to abandon successful products, to shift entire industries, whatever it takes to advance the just cause.
So the cause is constant, but the methods are flexible.
You protect the why, but you constantly question and change the what.
And this is the blockbuster trap, right? This is where established companies fail.
Yes, they protect the current profitable model. We make money renting DVDs, so we must protect the DVD rental business. They protect yesterday's cash cow.
And then the market shifts and they die because they were unwilling to, commit corporate suicide for the long-term health of their cause.
We saw giants like IBM and Adobe do this. IBM was a hardware company. They chose to destroy that legacy business to survive by focusing on services.
And Adobe did it too. They stopped selling those profitable software boxes, the Photoshop CDs, and shifted to the subscription cloud model.
And that was a terrifying, painful time for them. They were actively killing huge revenue streams. That takes leadership with real guts.
The guts to say the purpose is more important than this product.
If your just cause is, say, to provide small business owners with financial tools for stability, the rigid company protects its desktop software because the margin is high, and they become obsolete when the cloud arrives.
But the flexible company asks, how can I still advance my cause?
Right. So they embrace the cloud, they shift to mobile apps, maybe they're less profitable at first, but they ensure their long-term relevance, they change the what to protect the why.
And they endure.
They endure.
So what does this all mean for you right now, this week?
Well, you have a chance to change your perspective immediately. Instead of just diagnosing past decisions as finite or infinite, I'd challenge you to look at your current operational structure. Find the mechanisms that are forcing finite behavior.
Find one big upcoming decision. Before you decide, ask yourself, am I measuring the wrong things? Is shareholder pressure forcing a short-term fix? And if you choose the infinite path, the one that makes you stronger for the future, what systems do you need to change internally to support it?
The challenge Sinek puts out there is it's profound because it goes against so much traditional business school thinking.
Which says maximize short-term profit and win.
Right. And Sinek says, no, optimize for long-term resilience and just keep playing.
If you take away just one idea from this, let it be this. Business is an infinite game. The companies that play to win the quarter, the ones that borrow from the future, they eventually die.
But the companies that play to keep playing, that protect the cause and build trusting, flexible systems, they endure.
The infinite game rewards patience, purpose, and persistence, not quarterly heroics.
The ultimate measure of success isn't your margins today. It's just, are you still in the game tomorrow? You now understand the goal isn't to win, it's to build something that lasts.
So start that process. Identify one upcoming decision and refuse to let it borrow from your tomorrow.